Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, live to ESL Pro League from the Intel Esports Arena where the world is watching. My name is Hugo, and joining me is my Valentine's Day, Alex Snods Byfields. We're wearing matching red colours today.
I know, red, of course, for Valentine's Day. How you doing, mate? Have a good night? Wow.
Well, we'll find out later, exactly.
Wow.
But I'm going to have a great afternoon because we've got some good games to kick things off. First one being Space Soldiers Heroic. Lots to talk about. Before we do that, let's have a look at the standings, see what's going on, see how things have updated and changed with the broadcast from yesterday. We had some matches. Astralis sitting at 4-0. Wow, what a start.
Yeah, obviously having the 2-0 yesterday versus FaZe Clan, and also having the clean sweep. What was it, 16-5, 16-5?
Yeah. Very
easy matches earlier versus the likes of LDLC. Obviously, the same cannot be said for LDLC, starting off 0-4 the league as well, losing 0-2 to Ago, and also 0-2 to Astralis, as I said before.
But we've got some new names playing today, namely being Heroic and Space Soldiers, obviously, as we said for our first game. Space Soldiers are going to be the big one of the night, obviously.
Of course, yep.
As AGO came in with their debut matches yesterday, managing to 2-0 LDLC. Now Space Soldiers are looking to do the same, but they've got a chance for a 4-0. They've got 4 maps, and we'll be covering all of them here on the B stream. Talking of that, let's look at the schedule to see what we have today, both on the main stream on Facebook and here on the B stream. Space Soldiers Heroic, Fnatic Hellraisers, and LDLC Space Soldiers.
Exactly. I mean, big thing coming up here to me tonight is the last game of the night. Obviously, LDLC versus Space Soldiers. Yeah. For me, LDLC have to be pulling wins as soon as possible. Space Soldiers is a team that's just come out of MDL. Yes, in recent form, they're doing well, but LDLC, they cannot afford such a weak start to the season, considering how many games they're playing early on.
Yeah, I mean, 0-4 would not be the way to start. 0-6 would be even worse. So definitely want to get out of that hump as soon as they can. But they've got a new addition, a new player, obviously Logan replacing the Cooler existence. That's definitely a big change. We'll talk more about that later, though. Let's jump into the first matchup and have a little chat about this. Heroic versus Space Soldiers. What are we expecting? The maps today are going to be Cobble and Train.
Yes, very good maps already for Space Soldiers. Obviously, in my eyes, you know, in terms of specialists on Cobblestone, I mean, Space Soldiers is definitely up there. When you think about the combination, the duo of Kaliex and also Xantares and how good they are on the T side, Major's cooling as well. It's so strong on this map. This is the thing for Space Soldiers, right? When you think of how Space Soldiers play the game, a lot of it is rather telegraphed, rather one-dimensional and 4-1 style of CS, and a lot of it is cooled from spawn. So when you have these maps where the CTs react to the Ts, right? Cash, Cobblestone, for example, where you can cool in the freeze time. You can go for a 4-1, right?
Yeah.
By 4-1, I mean the in-game leader goes towards one half of the map, 4 players go towards the other half of the map, right? Cobble. Major goes towards B. He will send out his smoke platform, his molly towards stairs, his flashbang. He will deny any information from the CT side. And at that point, you've got Xantares, Kaliex, you name it, walking up A long, contacting up towards the A-bomb site. Yeah. And these sorts of strats are so effective when you have such individually skilled players. But does it cap your team? Does it limit how good you can be across all 7 maps? Who knows? Because somehow Cobblestone has made it through the veto.
Well, we were just talking about this before the game, and that's the thing. You know, most teams insta-ban is nuke at the moment. I think that's fairly safe to say with most of the top teams, which is fine, right? If all the top teams ban nuke, then, you know, everyone's kind of on the same ground. But the issue is Heroic's insta-ban is Cash. Cash and Cobble, these are Space Soldiers' 2 best maps.
Exactly.
So with Heroic having to get rid of Cash, and their good map being nuke, and Space Soldiers obviously hate
They're never going to play nuke.
Never going to play nuke. Insta-ban every time. We've got, you know, the worst possible situation for Heroic. A good map of theirs gone, and you know they have to ban Cash, which means Cobble is definitely going to come up in the Space Soldiers game. And you know, Heroic aren't a Cobble team. Yeah, they're not against playing it, but you know, this is Space Soldiers on Cobble. Yeah. This is not an easy feat.
I think an important thing to integrate into this discussion as well is the fact that Rubino's not joined the roster, obviously. We can talk about this. Yeah. Rubino, his style, potentially more passive, more supportive, but obviously he has his individual matchups. If you remember, oh gosh, this is going to be E-League Major when they came 8th with North, what, January 2017, I believe it was. Yeah, so if you remember, the incredible performances we saw from Rubino all happened towards drop down on Cobblestone. Cobblestone is one of Rubino's best maps, and I feel like if you're Heroic, one, how much practice have you really had, especially considering that you've just flown back from CS Summit with S-Attack. Now that Rubino is in the roster, you're probably going to try and pick a map where he's most comfortable and try to get him most, comfortable, relaxed and composed coming into this first matchup.
Well, yeah, Rubino's already proven to be a good player as well, right? We saw him at the ECS finals recently. Obviously, we had a bit of downtime where we didn't see him in the top-tier team. Obviously, Astralis had Device out for that event, so Rubino stood in, and we had a few players standing in for Astralis over a short couple of months. Dennis, Pimp, Rubino, obviously. But Rubino, I mean, I'd say he did very well. He pulled his weight, certainly, at the ECS finals. Astralis ended up 3rd and 4th. They lost to Mouse Sports in the semis, but hey, they end up 3rd and 4th in November with the stand-in. I'd say that's a good result for Astralis, a good result for Rubino. At least it shows he can still keep up with the top level despite his bit of a downtime from play.
And that was only, what, December, middle of December, I believe. And obviously, I believe it was, what, Fnatic and Astralis 3rd, 4th. So you could argue, you know, obviously Device not there, Rubino the stand-in. Maybe they'd lose that best of 3 if it was actually a deciding matchup between 3rd and 4th. But nevertheless, you know, we'll let bygones be bygones. It still wasn't too long ago. 2 months ago, he's still going to be hot in form. Bring him into the roster, far more experienced than S-Attack. In terms of playstyle, does he have the same firepower, that aggression that S-Attack has? How is that going to work with the roles now? Do you have to really rely on the likes of Nico and Yugi to be your star players? Because if they're not performing, is there going to be a gap on your team? Is there going to be a big void to fill?
Because that's the thing, right? When you look at this team, you say, oh, you know, is he going to be a star player? Is he going to be a firepower? Well, S-Tag, that's the thing. Like, he was never a star player of any team, I don't think. You know,
consistent, but yeah.
He was in Tricked, he was one of the better players, but that team was constantly getting poached, and Nico was gone, Yugi was gone, S-Tag was gone. So it was hard for anyone to really be consistent in that lineup. When he's brought into this team, as you say, Nico and Yugi, the 2 hard hitters for this roster, as inconsistent as they are, they have that skill peak, right? So S-Tag, I don't think, came into the roster expecting to be a star player, and I think Rubino will fit nicely into this, because I don't think they need any more stars. Obviously, it is very dependent on those 2 players stepping up, but if Nico and Yugi are on form, I think Rubino can be great as a supportive player.
Exactly, and I think having such a good supportive core as well, when you factor in now you have Modi, now Rubino, and Snappy to facilitate the likes of the talented players such as Yugi and also now Nico, you know, the ceiling in terms of firepower on those players is very high, but I feel like it's relies so much on these individual players from Yugi and Nico, right? Yeah. What happens when Nico's having a poor day, when Yugi's not really feeling it with the AWP? There's going to be big gaps in their plays. So for me, you know, it comes down to potential momentum-based team where they might have 3 months off, 3 months on, 3 months off, 3 months on in terms of how they peak and how they perform. So yeah, do I see, you know, an incredible structure in terms of strategy where I'm like, okay, I know this team's going to be able to grind out rounds back and forth. They can always get to 10 rounds with their incredible strategies. Potentially not, but can they get upset wins? Can they go to top 8s at big tournaments? Yes, I believe they can.
Well, it was exactly this time last year that Heroic attended IEM Katowice, albeit with a different lineup, but made it through 5-1 in the group stage, got their way to the semi-finals, instantly seeded, lost to Immortals there, I think, but they got first seed to semis, so they got into the semi-finals. You know, again, they skipped quarters, but they did well in the group, so definitely deserved. Exactly this time last year, we got Katowice coming up next week. Not attending. Don't quote me.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are attending.
Yes, they are. They beat
maybe we'll see a repeat.
They beat Hellraiser's 2-1.
Yes,
2-1.
You're correct. Not only are we around the same time, but you know they're going to be attending. Maybe we'll see something there. Hopefully, we'll see something tonight. But let's talk about it, Snots. Where are you leaning in terms of predictions for this one?
Okay.
Got Train and Cobble. Yeah. Who goes where?
I think Heroica's a strong team on Train. Obviously, bringing in Rubino as well. The T sides might be rather slow starting in terms of chemistry and fluidity, trying to freestyle the new player. But then again, he's more supportive roles, as long as if he's like a major part of your firepower and your integral piece of your actual, you know, driving force on your T sides. You know, he might be the one flashing in Nico, flashing in Yugi, flashing in, etc. Right? So I think this could definitely be a map win for Heroic on Train. But I think Cobble is pretty much, you know, intrinsically set in stone. The irony there, set in stone, cobblestone for for the Turks Space Soldiers.
So you're calling a 1-1?
I don't know, mate. I'd say 2-2, but I'm saying 16-9 Cobble and 16-13 Train.
Okay, all right.
Well, but I haven't seen them play yet, so who knows?
I mean, that could change after the first.
What about yourself? You're going to give it, you know...
I'm going to go with a 2-0. I'm going big for Space Soldiers. I think they're going to come in hot. We saw
I agree as well.
We saw AGO looking very good yesterday. I mean, they just came into their matches on fire. Obviously, versus LDLC, who just coming off the back of a loss versus Astralis, so maybe not feeling confident. But, hey, Space Soldiers debut in Pro League. They want to show what they're made of.
That's crazy
They want
to
come in with confidence. And this is a team that's always had confidence.
That's what's crazy to me. Sorry to interrupt you there, but the thing that's crazy to me is the fact that Go played with so much dominance, and they really were so self-assertive as well in how they played their first ever match in Pro League. And fair play. I mean, you've got to remember as well, right, this team has played a plethora of officials, right? But it's never really been those massive officials such as Pro League or qualifying for those massive lands. It's always been your farm skins, your DreamHack qualifiers, if you know what I mean. So the fact that they come into such a big official, such an important match of their debut in terms of making it to the rise within the top tier 1, tier 2, scene of Counter-Strike, to play so dominant and assertive. Got to take my hat off and say well, not congratulations, but, you know, fair play. I was impressed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a team that needs more LAN experience. I mean, there's 3 newbie players on that team, I guess you could say. You've obviously got the old school players like Ruby and Furlan, who've obviously had their time playing in Vex, for example. I mean, we look old school.
E-Battle, 2 majors,
yeah. And then you've got Snatchy, PHR, and Towel, who's, you know, new players. It's a nice mix either way, but it's a Betway odds, leading favourite Space. I think those are the best odds we've seen. Yeah, no, I think those are good odds.
You think they're fair?
I think they're fair.
I think that's great money potential right there. on cobblestone, remember?
We've been saying that for ODLC.
I know, but what can I say? I didn't expect that.
No.
Yes. So, cobblestone, 1.75 for Space Soldiers. That's crazy return.
That's good. On cobble, right?
I'm saying we're not allowed to bet, but if we were, I would definitely put in, some money under the table on that one. Cobblestone for Space Soldiers, 1.75.
Looking for a bit of extra
Would you
cash
look
on
at
your
that?
Valentine's Day. You can go ahead, put some money there. Either
Single
way,
guys out there, the money you would have spent on taking your girl out for dinner, right? 50 quid.
We call it the
wine.
Sam technique, actually, I think.
Oh, of course, yeah. Shout out to Sam, obviously. Fair play, one nice escape there. But anyway, back to reality, right?
Yeah.
The 50 quid you would have taken, right? Get a bottle of wine, let's say 70 quid, right? Put that 70 quid on Space Soldiers.
You spend a lot on your wine, don't you?
What can I say? No, actually...
He's a lady. He's a lady charmer.
Wearing red Valentine's Day, what can I say? Anyway, what I'm saying is, I will put money on Space Soldiers. This isn't financial advice, but this is advice from someone who might actually know something.
Well, we'll find out at least. We're going to be jumping into Cobblestone very shortly. Here we go, actually, straight away. Cobble on Space Soldiers T side. This will be interesting. See how they control the pace. Obviously, we've talked a lot about Calyx and Xantares, the drop legends themselves.
Precisely, but right to the pistol round. Space Soldiers starting on their T side. I spoke as well in the prelude before this one, Hugo, the fact that the cooling style is so favored to facilitate a cooler such as Major in how he likes to cool, potentially from freeze time, sorry. Nevertheless, the actually 5 players grouping up towards middle. Snappy here getting some early information, but actually won't be able to see them come through mid, but he's going to hear the steps.
Oh, shot for Rubino, though. He'll open up with first blood. Although Dinked in the process has to fall back to the balcony, and Snappy now rounds his way back up from long, so he may be able to catch Paz, but nice shot from the Glock. That'll trade it back into a 4-on-4, and now having a USP on long is very dangerous for catching these CTs. As they try and rotate back into the site, they'll do exactly that. Xantares traded, and the bomb to go down. Space Soldiers already holding onto the bomb site, and a preemptive push from Heroic. I'm not sure if I like that. They push before the bomb goes down through smokes, and they all get taken out. So now it's just
1 versus Kit. No head as well. Apparently he's taken down by Paz. Such a hard scenario because retaking this A bomb site, Hugo, is so difficult. The reason being is the crossfires, right? You've got a crossfire between default and tree, as in towards A long, towards wood. You then have the headshot angle towards middle. You've got the players playing on the balcony, especially those Glocks as well, playing close range. Such a hard site to retake. So I actually kind of like what Heroic did there. The problem was, obviously, Yugi quite, delayed, lagging behind. But when the bomb is going down, you have that brief 3 seconds where there's a gap in that crossfire. 2 versus 3, essentially, as the bomb's been planted. Can he try break it? Can he try get that 1 or 2 frags? You've got to take those risks in a scenario where you're so unfavored.
Talking of risks, Space Soldiers pulled in 4 SMGs into the second round. Not always, a big problem, but it could come back to haunt them. Some teams can actually kind of work around this. What do you make of it?
I think because of how much Space Soldiers like to go towards drop on their anti-ecos, having the Mac-10s and whatnot could be effective. You can already see Major and Calyx going towards drop. Nevertheless, the first frag found with the actual single rifle with the AK towards platform onto Yugi, but drop control now in favor of Space Soldiers. Should be a fairly clean round.
Oh, and the flash has worked well. I don't know if they've seen him get in the corner there, so that's going to be Rubino in a really good position. They don't have many Molotovs left, only 2 up on Engine and Calyx. One is already towards the drop anyway. Major's going to fall off of the position because he's alone here with the Mac-10, doesn't want to go down to a Deagle. But it's a slower round for Space Soldiers. They get control, but they don't push with it. In fact, they're going to back off towards A. It's where Engine was holding earlier on, but in the meantime, Snappy's still close. He's yet to rotate. Major's still causing havoc down on B, and that pick may change things.
Exactly, change things in terms of the defense, but then again, you can hear or see Snappy hearing everything. A great flashbang as well. Preemptively spam the Deagle. Unfortunately, unable to connect any body shots there, but Modi does get the dink onto Calyx. But apart from that, a 5 versus 2 sight now in favor of Space Soldiers.
Yeah, this should surely not be doable for Heroic. They do get a couple of shots off with the pistols and take some kills and damage, but it's got to be Space Soldiers, right? Major's making a lot of noise coming from the back lines, and Modi's just going to walk into it. The Space Soldiers 3-0. It got a bit dicey. Yes, they lost health, but they will contain the round, so already off to a good start on this T side, as you would expect.
Yeah, a lot of frags found as well, but the SMGs you can already see into the third round. $3,000, $4,000 onto a couple players from Space Soldiers before they had to buy up. Obviously for Space Soldiers, it's actually quite funny really. You expect to not go towards, the close proximity areas such as drop versus the pistols, but it seems like for Space Soldiers, on their anti-ecos they love going in towards drop, getting control of drop and basically causing panic for Heroic. And here it is once again, fast play towards drop, got Mac-10s up close, farming the cash, but a great read once again from Major, as it seems like Snappy losing the game of chess so far.
Yeah, set everyone up outside of A just to go for that A aggression early on, but Space Soldiers, as you say, complete B control, and they'll realize it. Bomb will go down, and how Heroic are just looking for exit kills. Retake is impossible, essentially, in this scenario. Space Soldiers, no way they can throw away this round. It's just about Heroic trying to get damage. So they sit themselves in off angles. Xantares doesn't check the corner, so Modi gets 1. Traded by Calyx, but Again, 1-for-1s in this kind of round for Heroic. That's all you really need. Just try and take some money away from Space Soldiers. Make them rebuy the utility. Make them rebuy the armor. It's just little things that can come back to haunt the Turkish later on in the matchup.
Yeah, obviously try your best to force them to rebuy Kevlar, rebuy their utility, as you said. I mean, what's really interesting for me right now is if Space Soldiers survive, if they survive with all these SMGs, are they going to go for a fast play towards the B bomb site? Are we going to be seeing their incredible execute I was talking about towards the B site with the Molotovs, with the smoke towards Electric, the Speedway wrap, etc. Interesting to see. So are they going to be keeping the MAC-10? No, going to be disregarding that one for the AKs. There is a UMP.
Yeah, they actually didn't have the MAC-10. Major was just playing PT-50 that round, just running a pistol. So they actually only saved one SMG from the round, and they're just going to keep it on anyway. Maybe if they had two, it'd be a different story.
Potentially, yeah. So already the 2 players going towards 8, 3 going up towards the B-bomb side outside drop so far for Space Soldiers. Most likely we see a default coming out from Space Soldiers.
Nico opting to stick with the MAC-10 as well instead of buying up the M4. He has 3,600.
It's risky as well. You're 3-0 down.
Yeah.
Keeps the MAC-10. Will actually allow him, though, to invest into the utility and also the defuse kit as well, so that could be his advantage. If he plays towards under balcony, towards the stairs, maybe playing a headshot angle or something, with the MAC-10 it might not be that big of a difference. Thing is well to note is Yugi's playing towards Statue already with the AWP, so we might not be seeing early plat control come out from Heroic. And this is really going to be favouring a team like Space Soldiers.
Yeah, just trying to exploit this position. He's going to have a push from Snappy. Not sure if that was called for, because it was right as Space Soldiers were rotating back towards the A bomb site. They're going to get it for free, because Snappy's dead too early to allow for Heroic to rotate in. They try and jump back into the site using smokes of the cross, but Space Soldiers know they're here. Molotovs go down, and these T's are ready for the fight. So Rubino, he's caught out of position. Modi tries to get himself an angle on top of the truck, but as Antares one step ahead, he finds the headshot. With Modi dead, Heroic already looking at the save. Yes, Nico may have saved that money, but will he save the gun? Because Space Soldiers are already on the chase. Major's coming in from the back lines as he did in the previous anti-eco. And Yugi, I'm not sure if he's ready for this when he's running with his knife out. He's going to get caught, sprayed. Will he get finished? Yes, Major finds it. So AWP dropped, MAC-10 finished off. And actually, ironically enough, the only kill from Heroic was by the MAC-10 player himself, Nico.
Huh. So 4-0 now. Space Soldiers running away with this lead already, but what you expect is T-side cobblestone.
Nothing too crazy.
I mean, the thing is as well, did Nico hear them pulling grenades towards platform? Was Snappy paranoid of this incredible B execute they have? Obviously, having the MAC-10 there is already weaker firepower as it is. But yeah, versus the quasi-buy. Actually, not really a quasi-buy coming out, just a deco. 4 Eagles, 1 CZ, no one buying Kevlar, which I like to see actually. It's rare you see this where the CTs don't invest into Deagle, Kevlar, 1 smoke. They're going to have better utility and more to play with onto the buy round.
Yeah, it's good, but maybe over-saving to some extent. I mean, Nico's still got 6K this round. He's going to get 3,400 after this, so he'll be up to, you know, $9,000. Almost 10 if he finds a kill as well. Space Soldiers, though, they found their first. It's going to be Calyx taking down Snappy on A long in the meantime, while Space Soldiers look to execute on B. The bomb's been brought here again as Yugi sits at the back of the chicken coop, going to get tagged down. They haven't seen him just yet. Nico's taking the distraction for now, but Yugi's going to wide face and he'll go down to Major. So Space Soldiers, another issue removed. Calyx gets another kill. This round is just simple for Space Soldiers. Modi's all that stands and he's on the A bomb site, so this looks to be the 5-0 that we expect, and if Space Soldiers can keep everyone alive as well, money will keep building for this T side, and they've already got a hell of a lot of cash.
Modi, last player alive here, trying to see if he can find an exit frag potentially. Salvage that weapon to the next round, you know, save himself, having to invest into the M4, potentially more utility, could even drop over an AWP as well to Yugi, so Yugi can buy some more grenades. But yeah, 5-0 start already for Space Soldiers, so worrying signs here for Heroic. Red flags potentially going to be raised here soon if they lose this next buy round to Hugo, because things could definitely slip away right in front of their eyes. But coming out for Space Soldiers, do you change the pace now?
Surely, right? Go for a fast B execute, try and catch Heroic off guard. You've run lots of slow defaults. You've run lots of like rotation-based plays towards A. You know, shows your presence on B, get plat control, sorry, throw your nades out, and then hit A. It's been working so far, but why not throw in something fast to catch them off guard on their first buy?
Like to see a pause.
Utility.
Yeah, like to see a pause. Obviously, for Heroic right now, have some time to recalibrate, reconfigure your CT side defense, and think about how you're going to change up the approach from Space Soldiers. But for me, for Space Soldiers, if they change the pace right now, go for a fast set play towards the B bomb site. The issue is obviously the maximum round loss bonus for Heroic means they're going to have the utility to counter that with the Molotovs, the counter flashbangs and whatnot. But you can see already 4 players lining up. This could be the execution where they smoke towards Electric, smoke tree, smoke across the site, molly stairs, molly under plat, and basically run towards Speedway and wrap the site. That's what I want to see. Was that a yes from drop? Haven't seen that molly thrown for nearly over a year.
That's brilliant, though. Look at the damage that's done. Space Soldiers are not expecting that at all.
NIP used to do this molly. So basically what you'd do is you'd smoke the middle of platform, force them back, you'd send that molly out, and you would then peek platform, and it's almost like a hit or run. Do you go into platform and die, or do you go back and then give up control?
I like that. I like that. Well thought for Heroic. They're going to get damage early on. We've got the double AWP in play, but surprised to not see Rubino at least doming one of them. We've seen him from time to time pick up the AWP.
Yeah, I haven't seen that strat in a long time. It seems rather effective. Space Soldiers as well, rather bemused. So, bomb still towards T-spawn, outside drop. So right now for Space Soldiers, this could be as simple as Zantares eyeing up his prey. See him looking towards drop. Calyx as well. Take drop control, regroup, back towards the B-bomb site. Line up your smokes and whatnot. Have a set play, down drop, through platform, split this B-bomb site, and basically leave and render Yugi's AWP useless.
Well, Heroic haven't held on to much utility other than a couple of smokes, so let's see if Space Soldiers can penetrate this defense. Yugi waiting for the contact. I'm sure Space Soldiers will flash with this, but they're taking their time. 26 seconds left on the clock. The shot missed from Yugi on the cross, and they don't flash with it, but they will flash him now. He's blind. Falling up for the stairs, but Nico's there for support. Yugi comes in with a re-peek, but he'll miss a shot. Blinded as well. Mage's going to take down his teammate. Yugi needs to step up, but only one kill will be found. Traded again from Zantares, leaving just Modi on the site. The rotations are here in time, but will the bomb be planted? Because there's only 6 seconds up. Finally getting the plant in. Snappy dropped by Zantares, and this round regained by Space Soldiers. They seem to have for themselves in a 2v1. Rubino's found 1 kill, but surely this clutch is not going to be easy. Calyx holding the angle, and he'll be able to finish off the round.
For a minute there, I thought Space Soldiers made a poor call. They knew that Yugi was AWPing towards platform. You saw as soon as he shot his first AWP shot towards the end of platform, they're like, okay, there's an AWP here. We're going to go fast, we're going to flash, we're going to molly stairs, force him back, and catch him while he's in transition, going back towards the site.
I'd like to ask a question as well. This is very common. It's actually something I've never known the answer to. Why do teams, because Heroic just called a pause, why do teams call a pause after that round before an eco instead of right before the buy? Do they want to talk about the round prior, or are they just planning the next 2 rounds? Because now they're eco or quasi.
Okay, so there's so many things you can do with a pause, right? So many things you can do with a pause. So the question is right now, you've just seen what they've just done. So obviously it's like imprinted in your mind. So you think, okay, they've done this, we can do this. Plus, it's about a breather, because one of the problems you have is you go into rounds. If you pause, think about what you're going to do. Play calm, play an anti-eco away. It doesn't matter what happens, right? Yeah. Frustration then calms down, you reset yourself, you compose yourself, you go into the buy round with a fresh mind. The problem is, one of the reasons why pause is so great is you get into a rut where you buy, it's almost like autopilot. You buy, you do the exact same thing. You buy, you do the exact same thing. I actually really like it when teams pause after they lose the buy round, have a minute just to reconfigure themselves, recompose themselves, and when you go into the buy round, you're super calm, but you also know exactly what you're doing.
Inside the mind of a player. Thank you for that. That's interesting.
It's one of the things, yeah, I remember, because I used to ask that question as well. But then what you would do is, obviously, 15 seconds isn't enough time to think about what you're actually going to do.
Not only break down the last round and how it went wrong, but also analyze how you're going to...
But it's also just there in your mind as well. Yeah.
Well, it's pistols now for Heroic, a little more investment because they have cash in the bank, but they need a little bit more for rifles. Nico, though, going to open up. He could grab that gun because Zantares was alone in drop. Calyx actually hasn't pushed them just yet. He's still walked towards Plateau. As Major jumps out onto the site, very ballsy move when you're already a man down against pistols, but no one punishes him. And wrapping around the pizza, he might spot 2. It's a lineup. Oh, the spray control, he can't come in with a connection. He's going to have to fall back getting dinked, but luckily Paz is there to save the day. Engine as well comes out of the drop down just in time. And more trades will be found from Heroic. It's not enough. Snappy's alone. They line up. And again, Space Soldiers make it out alive, but I can't say these rounds aren't getting close a bit close for comfort for Space Soldiers. Yeah, the rounds might not be too close for comfort, but I'll tell you what's comfortable right now, Hugo. 7-0 advantage on your T-side cobblestone as well. Going into round number 8, let's see what the pause has changed. Snappy going to be wielding the secondary up for Heroic, so we could be seeing 1 up A, 1 up B potentially. Obviously, the issue here is, I mean, what happens if Space Soldiers go fast right now? You know, you're going to have Snappy rotating with an AWP. You're going to have Yugi on and up towards B platform. And already you can see red flags starting to be raised. There's 4 It's the engine smoke. They're going to smoke electric. So, is that what we're talking about
this is where, this is going to be it. So they're going to molly out where Nico is right now.
Yep.
They're going to smoke Electric and wrap Speedway. This is a great counter for Nico's Orb. Sorry, for Yugi's Orb. Yugi's going to have to go huge here, but here come the Molotovs.
Let's see if it works out. Nico may be ready for this one. It's a classic Space Soldiers move. Yugi already starting off with the AWP from the back of the chicken coop, so Space Soldiers need to get him out of position. He smokes down just in case they molly so he can move into the cover of the smoke. But Xantares has found the opening kill here for Space Soldiers, and the second as well. Yugi's still here, and they've got to watch Nico as well, who hasn't been spotted close to the platform, almost baiting his teammates, but now he can make this play and step up for the team. One kill, but it's not enough. Major's only tagged, and he'll get away with 24 points of health, leaving just Snappy alive. They didn't need to wrap Electric. They just did the job with Xantares getting 2 entries.
Yeah, it was crazy because for a minute there I thought, okay, Nico's done his job. He's countered the execute by putting the smoke onto this balcony, which means they're not going to wrap Speedway through the smoke, especially when the Molotovs have been put out. Instead, they played it patiently. They played it calm. They had the flank as well. I'm not quite too sure which player it was. I believe it was Engine, actually, that came in towards drop and found the rotating player. And as soon as they found the frag onto Nico, the game was pretty much up for Heroic. 8-0.
I do love watching Space Soldiers. I love their execution.
The reason I like watching Space Soldiers is because if you watch their demos, you almost know what's coming, which is quite nice. Obviously, then again, do you bring up the argument of readability? Is everything telegraphed? Can you counter them? And you saw Nico trying to see if he can counter that.
The thing is, it's one of those situations where even if you know what Space Soldiers are going to do, if you take the gunfight, it's very hard to out-aim them, you know? It's not like Heroic can go, oh, they're going for this setup, it's fine, I'll just kill them, you know? Space Soldiers win their duels. Xantares wins his duels. As you can see, 2 kills that round, stays alive with 10 HP. And 8 on the board for Space Soldiers, none for Heroic. Again, they're going to buy up, but this is a situation now where they're literally just working off loss bonus and save money from earlier rounds, because obviously they have more money from only going for a light quasi. So they can actually buy up here just because they save cash.
Oh, I was going to say, there's so much paranoia right now for Heroic that could Space Soldiers try to fake that B play, do a 4-1 style of CS where they have 4 players walking along, have Major throw the grenades towards B. Obviously, they contact up A long. Obviously, hopefully, they would expect Heroic to rotate a player towards B and only have 1 player there. You trade that kill, site's yours, round's over. But it seems like Space Soldiers are going to keep running something till it doesn't work. Play down towards drop. Money's about to be tested by someone you don't want to see, and that's Xantares towards drop.
Just sitting in there, waiting for the player. Modi's not going to be walking back into that room for now. Paz is boosted up as well towards B long, but look at this, Nico's aggression. He gets flashed out. Footsteps going to be heard as he runs back, so Paz goes to the peak, but it's instead Yugi who's ready for the angle. Good shot. Finally opened up for Heroic, but can he carry on? Because Major's still there in position. He did spot the cross, but the smoke goes out to at least ward them off for now. Yugi attempts the blind shot, but where's this come from? Xantares just given drop down control, jumps into the connector. Modi can't stop him, and Snappy gets caught in the door. So now Heroic are worried because they've got a man in the middle.
Oh my goodness, Rabina now, the new addition to Heroic, trapped alone towards the A site. He's quarantined here between Xantares and the rest of Space Soldiers.
He's got to go big, but Xantares is already causing more havoc. He finds Modi trying to rotate off B, and Calyx, he just knows where Rabino is. Pre-aims the corner, Xantares gets his 3rd kill of the round. Surprise, surprise, and it's Yugi to respond, but again stuck in a 1v3 on the wrong side of the map. This is a 9-0 for Space Soldiers.
Pick your poison at this point, really, isn't it, for Heroic? Do you want to be facing Xantares contacting A long with a 4-1 default towards A long contact play? Do you want to let Major run his crazy smart executions towards the B site where he just dismantles and deciphers your defense with a Speedway wrap? Or are you going to allow Xantares to wreak havoc towards drop? As I said before, pick your poison.
Well, that's the thing. Modi only had a UMP, so maybe he felt the need not to contest the drop. And as soon as Xantares went in, he just held E-box, and Xantares easily wrapped the connector. It could have been down to communication issues. It seemed like Snappy wasn't ready for that push. It seemed like he was caught while moving in through the door. So fair play to Xantares, but mistakes potentially made for Heroic here. Yugi trying to hold on to the AWP. It seems like he will be able to live for now. Calyx is not getting there in time. So Space Soldiers, no issue with money. Engine has 16k before the buy. And a pause, I can only assume again for Heroic.
Yeah, of course. So 3.4k. Obviously, Yugi saved the AWP, so we can drop over an M4. But apart from that, the buy is going to be extremely weak, and the money is going to be spread thin across the board. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Heroic here, I just give them 10 rounds and I'll play for 10-5. Try to get the pistol on your T-half and try to snowball. Yeah. That is really your only port of call here, because you're 9-0 down. So at a bare minimum, the best you can ask for is 9-6. If you win a round right now with 2 UMPs, an AWP and an M4,
What do you say Heroic need to do then when it comes to like a proper buy? Do you think they should get more proactive, try and get some map control? We saw them trying to take B long in that round, didn't really work out too well. They got a pick, but they lost a trade. So what do you think?
Okay, it's hard. So the question is right now, if you're Yugi and Nico towards the B side, do you take B plat control? But what do you do with the B plat control?
Yeah.
If you get B plat controlled, you leave Yugi alone towards B. You have Nico then help Modi towards drop. You have 2 drop, 1 plat, early info towards platform. Modi, oh, these smokes towards B. Is this a fake?
Yeah, it seems like it. Bombs
it
outside
is.
of A. I like this Major. He's running
this
exactly strat you called, Snods. He's running the fake on B.
It's worked.
Yugi's rotating with the AWP. That's the only player of threat this round. Everyone else is limited to pistols. But the thing is, Heroic went for the triple A setup early on. So actually, if they're going to double rotate off this, that's a big call to make if you're Heroic. They're finally going to realize the error of their ways, and actually they're going to move on back to A. But Yugi's the last man here. He's only just coming back up through. However, Space Soldiers have taken their time as well. Yugi gets into position. Smoke comes down in the nick of time, but he might catch a kill just before. Looks for more through the smoke, but Engine crosses safely, and Xantares has taken down Snappy as well. So, Space Soldiers not out of this round. They need to get rid of Yugi, because he still is a threat. Not to Calyx, though. 2 entries towards A. Modi traded by Engine and back into control, but not for long, because Nico snuck up through mid.
1 versus 1. Major knows exactly where Nico is, but unfortunately the same cannot be said vice versa. Nico, a guessing game now, but actually I believe he hears. Oh no, the timing is not in his favor today. Major from behind, so 10-0 now, double-digit advantage already for Space Soldiers going forward on the terrorist side of Cash. I mean, this is the thing. I've never actually seen that smoke. I believe it was Engine that knows all these crazy little intrinsic smokes where they're so effective, especially when you pair it with a 4-1 solid CS, because if you can have Major alone towards B, have 1 extra smoke thrown towards the A site, so you have 4 towards A, 1 towards B, 2 smokes towards the B site, so it really looks like a fake. And I mean, if you're Heroic right now with the amount of paranoia, you're terrified of this B bomb site, you have to try and over-rotate to even have a chance. It's going to be working so easy and effectively for them.
And cobble a map similar to Cash and Space Soldiers are always great at, where it's very easy to deny the CTZ information. You know, you can just jump into B in this map through drop down. You can jump into B through on Cash through main, and same with A. So, you know, positions where if you're Space Soldiers on the T side, you get to control the amount of info CTs have very easily, and that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Speaking of info, Nico will actually rotate away from B platform, so usually you would see 2 towards drop right now, but obviously for Heroic, they're going to have to be stacking these sites, yeah. So Flashbang is going to come out towards plat, they'll force Yugi back. How fast these rotations back towards B are going to be, because they're going to have to be swift.
Oh yeah, Flashbang in response from Yugi, but he's still blinded for the time being. There's another third flash. This man is getting blind for days. Antares, of course he hits the shot. Orpa down, and Nico is all that stands on this B bomb site, but he's being wrapped from the back. It's Paz to finish him off. After only 1 single kill, it won't be enough, because no one else is making up for the job. It's going to be Modi dropping after 1, and Snappy all that stands. A 1v3 for Heroic. It's not like they've been too successful in these situations before, and that's not going to change today. Paz will clean up the round. So Space Soldiers, 11 rounds on the board, a 3K for Paz, and everyone is looking good on the Space Soldiers roster. Even Engine, who's not killing, is also not dying.
Smokes, that's all that matters to me. Engine is...
He doesn't need to kill
such a great supportive player in terms of... This is the thing that I really like about Space Soldiers, is it feels like, you know, you watch some of these teams and you're like, are you really best friends? Are you really comrades? Do you know what I mean? Is it all just, is it all a facade? You know, the fact that that Engine is so selfless in terms of he doesn't care if he's on 4 frags as long as they're winning, right? He will throw those smokes. He will be all the way at the back throwing the smokes towards the sites when you have Xantares, Calyx, Paz with the AWP and whatnot, getting those star player frags. It's very important to have a player like this on your roster. You know, is Modi, is Rubina going to be this sort of player for Heroic? We just don't know yet. It's quite hard to judge these teams early on just because of obviously recent roster changes, but then again, Essa tag out for Rubina being in. Is that an upgrade? I think yes and no. Obviously both having very different play styles and very different attributes to bring to a team.
And Space Soldiers, again, a team that's had this roster for a long time. Yeah, they had their times of switching out Despay for Paz at one point, and even Engine, actually, for a bit of time. But no, they've stuck with this roster, and it seems to be working very well. Not in this round, though. Yugi's responded with 2 AWP kills on the back of B, but the Molotov should force him out into the open. No utility to counter that. So Calyx is ready and waiting to take the head off of the Dane, leaving just 2 more players standing for Heroic. One of them not a Dane, though. It's Rubino. Gets 1, so you may be able to make this round doable, but a tree boost to throw a curve all the way at Heroic will catch him off guard. Almost missed from Engine, but he recovers. Snappy, however, won't. And the spray with the UMP won't hit a range, and it's Space Soldiers to take their 12th in a row. A flawless half so far, Snods. Do we see the 50? No.
Oh, the 16-0, potentially. I mean, right now for Heroic, it's going to be back to the quality buy. This time, though, Hugo, they're not going for the Falika like we saw before.
No.
This is desperate times. Desperate times call for desperate measures here. Deagle, CZs, 1 smoke there for Modi. Careful up across the board as well, across all 5 players, and a 5 AK buy as well for Space Soldiers. We haven't even seen their limit with Paz on the AWP. Paz, CT side AWP on this map is incredible. So strong getting the first pick towards A long. Very good at re-aggressing towards A long and towards middle as well.
I'd say this is a map that on the T side, AWPing is used as more of a counter to a CT AWP rather than just a playmaker, an opener. You can so easily get
very
those
hard
rifle
on the
openers.
T side, yeah.
Heroic had not had the AWP enough. You know, they've run the double AWP from time to time, but it's never been an issue. Space Soldiers have just been flashing Yugi out every time on plateau. But this is a boost, and this is a push and moddy. You won't expect the second player, and you always should when you're up against Space Soldiers. So good at trading. Calyx will pull it back down to a 4-on-4 and get rid of that gun, so Heroic can't take it.
4 versus 4. Drop control now in favor of Calyx. And we know what drop means for Space Soldiers, a B-split.
Yeah, it's going to be coming out behind the tree, so this player up on the boost is going to be sandwiched, and Yugi drops into the pizza, but it's not a good meal for him today. He's dead. Major going to follow up as well, and 2 players already standing for Heroic. It just seems like the name of the game here, just players being caught in connector while Space Soldiers take the B-bomb site. What can you really do here if you're Heroic? You're going to buy up next round anyway, so there's not really any incentive to save. Go for rifles, try and get guns off of Space Soldiers, but you're so late into the half that even damage doesn't make a difference. The only thing you want to do is get a gun and get out of there. You get 4 kills here. Space Soldiers are walking away laughing with a 13th round and still 16k left in their back pocket.
13-0 then. For Heroic, they have to at least get 1 round just to avoid the embarrassment of all social media and everything being...
Oh, hello.
Oh, actually it was a body shot, you know. Fair enough, still nice shots. Can you get some more? Actually, all line up the body shots, but Engine does survive on 2 HP. So, 13-0. Pause coming in. What is this? Third pause so far from Heroic after being 13-0 down. What do you do right now if you're Heroic? You've had plat control, so you did the right move. This is the really annoying thing if you're Heroic, right? So, if we break down Cobblestone, textbook style CS, okay? Usually when you have plat control and the AWP is there, you have the early information. You have early information because it's a long-range position. What, 5 seconds to run down platform? Yeah. When you include grenades as well, let's say 7 seconds. That's enough time for the drop player to get into a good position on default, right? You have early information, so you rotate the second player drop. You then deny drop control from Xantares and Calyx, but even then, you know, it seems like Xantares is just winning these aim duels anyway. But you have Moddy and Nico as a tag team duo to deny drop control. Every single time Yugi is alone towards platform, Space Soldiers counter by rushing him down. It seems like Yugi is missing those close range shots. Yugi is so good mid to long range with this swap. He's so consistent, but it seems like Space Soldiers are really testing his no-scopes.
Yeah, and that's the thing, the fun...
There you go.
Oof, can't hit the flick shot. He has caught Major in the corner, got him pinned. Molotov set up by his teammate, good communication, but it's smoked off, so Major survives. And there's no need to move as well. He's got the smoke down, he's got plenty of time to get out of this position if he needs to. Instead, he sets up a molly, just trying to, again, bait out more utility from Heroic, make them think this is an execute. But Space Soldiers, again, walking up A. No information for Heroic. Snappy may hear these footsteps, and yeah, we got a rotation from this player up in the balcony, but really, what can they do? Space Soldiers have taken the A side. The only line of defense is really Rubino. Snappy does come in from the back line so long, and he catches 2 kills. Finally, something working out for Heroic. Maybe they won't get 16-0'd, although Xantares wants to keep it in control of Space Soldiers, so he fires off a shot as well. It's traded back finally in the favor of the CT side, but Xantares, he tries to make it count. It won't happen. Heroic get their first round on the board. The start of something new for the Danes.
13-1. Took him 14 rounds to finally put one on the board, as you said, but at least it's not that 16-0. In terms of confidence as well, if they got 16-0 going on to train, you wouldn't really be walking in there with your head held high. So, single opposite at this time. Obviously, the secondary up onto Snappy was extremely pivotal in gaining that last round. They are going to be lacking the double up setup. But for Space Soldiers, Engine, actually the double up setup now reversed on towards the T side. Usually, when you have the double up setup on your T side, it's all about picks. The problem when you have 2 orbs on the terrorist side, Hugo, is you become very one-dimensional in terms of if you cannot gain early entries or early first picks with the orb in the first minutes.
Well, there's a free one.
Well, there you go. I mean, job done.
Don't worry. That works. Major on the AWP. Still waiting. Heroic trying to contest with this drop control. Plateau control. It's Yugi there with the AWP. Questionable push from Nico, considering they had no info up on the plateau, but Yugi going to look to try and trade this one back. Very dangerous peak to make here, because Major's surely going to hit the shot if he walks into it. So a smoke will go down instead, just trying to hold off these Ts. Snappy rotating back to B, and I like this, yeah. 4 players all on B. Give up A, who cares? At this point, it's 13-1. You've got to throw something crazy in. But Space Soldiers, Snods, they do the classic. 10 players B, get drop control, wrap A, but at least Xantares is dead in drop.
Wait, Snappy just made a kill onto Xantares. They know Snappy's the A player. Oh my goodness, they're rushing mid here, Hugo.
All the information for Space Soldiers. For Snappy, he's aware. He's also keeping up with the track because he's rotated back to the site. Rubino as well with him. So there's 2 players here to defend. This could be good enough here for Heroic. It's actually the best stack they've had on A, but they don't expect the wrap. Calyx and Engine both find headshots. And Heroic, they had everything. They knew exactly what was going on with that round. They even preemptively rotated, but they can't hit the shot. Space Soldiers will take it. Surely this is the round. Heroic have to try on the last round of the half, but 2 players on the retake versus 4 defending. Not the best odds.
2 versus 3. The odds getting better and better. Major missing the shot towards Hobbit. We'll go for the repeat, but unfortunately facing into Major's Orb isn't really the best decision. Modi contemplated the save, but obviously knows exactly the scenario they're left in. Might be 1 round for him, but it's actually the last round of the half. Major will find that last frag, so 14-1.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the instant seismic shift there, where Kaliex just pulled his knife out. Snappy gave away the, the ruse gave away what was actually happening. Yeah. When your solo A anchor gets that frag in towards drop, you know that basically Heroic are going for a risky stack towards A.
Nice
towards B, yeah.
Space
Instant reaction as well, no hesitation. Not being indecisive, straight away towards the A site, rushed up mid, and obviously when you're holding the A site and you're forced onto positions like under balcony towards default, it's very hard to get more than 1 frag and it'll be traded out. So yeah, Molotovs came in towards default. Space Soldiers knew exactly where Rubino and Snappy had to be.
Yeah, I mean, great half from Space Soldiers. I called 2-0, but I was not expecting, well, 15-0, but I was not expecting that kind of scoreline. You know, Heroic, this is not a map Heroic are completely unknown to. You know, they've dabbled in Cobble from time to time. So to see them get 14-1 in Space Soldiers' debut map is quite scary. But hey, it just shows the depth of talent we have here in the Pro League. These 2 teams coming up from MDL, both stomping in their opening map. We had AGO 16-2 LDLC last night on the first map of the day. Bit more shaky on the second map, but it was something like a 13-2 half that got brought back to 16-11. Still won it. Went 2-0. Space Soldiers now coming in today looking absolutely fantastic. If they can continue on to a second map, that would be great. But obviously this isn't over, Snots. There's still a chance for comeback. Pistol is a retribution.
1 down.
There's a chance mathematically. I don't think there's.
I mean, there's a honeymoon. There's a honeymoon period right now for Heroic.
It is Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day. Exactly.
Always a possibility for Heroic.
Well, are they trying to get to the dates? It's only, what, 5:30 right now in Denmark, you know? They might have a reservation for dinner at 7. You never know. You never know.
Well, they've still got to play a map after this, so...
Exactly.
Maybe...
Another 16-2. There you go, straight to dinner.
Bold accusation.
Jokes aside, obviously, jokes aside. Kaliex here with the Caesar, probably towards drop. Yes, he is with the HE grenade as well. Paz playing solo towards A, playing the off angle with the bait from Engine.
Oh, yeah. Let's see if they get blindsided and don't check the corner. They don't. Paz, 2 kills. 3rd as well. Paz, surely not 4. He does find it. And Engine will finish off the round. That is ridiculous. What a bait.
I've seen that set up a few times from Cloud9, actually. We had Skadoodle, you have Automatic towards the top of middle, you have Skadoodle playing the off angle with the diffuse kit and smoke that way, obviously. Having no Kevlar, he could try to get 1 or 2 frags before he dies, but the fact that they don't check it, fair enough. The bait was there. The lure was taken by Heroic, and I mean, that's definitely the fun in the coffin here. 15-1, decimated by Paz's USP. There are 4 frags from the back and side of the heads of Heroic.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's hard to land those shots as well when they're running fast as well.
Yeah, especially when
jumping out the corners as well,
yeah, not an easy shot to hit. And neither is that. Kaliex catches a player emerging from the smoke with the UMP, and so that's 1 kill. Make it 2. Paz, he's having more success, more headshots in fact, and so will Engine from the same position. It's Space Soldiers 16-1 on the first map. Absolutely no effort moving into that second half. They cleanly take it. And what an opening debut map from Space Soldiers that really was. We're back on camera.
Yeah,
hey,
I mean,
Jesus.
what, 20 minutes?
I just put my water bottle on the desk for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great map. Either way, that's their debut map. Obviously, we've got Train coming up next. Do you see that being a similar story?
It all depends. It's really hard to say, right? For me, I haven't really watched too much, to be honest. I haven't actually watched too much of Space Soldiers on Train. I know they had the close game versus Gambit at the Major. 16-13, I believe it was, and obviously so close to actually making it to legend status. But
Gambit, a great Train team.
They are very good on Train, that is true. So, yeah, I mean, for me personally, I think this is a 2-0. I think 16-9, 16-10. I mean, I've casted a lot of Heroic on Train, and the Yuki is very good towards outside on the CT side, towards Green Train, towards Sandwich, playing towards default as well. Very good at AWPing on that CT defensive side.
And he didn't look too bad on this map as well. All things considered. I mean 16-1, he still hit a lot of shots.
Exactly right. And the thing about Heroic is the double CT AWP setup is actually pretty good. We saw Snappy as well with the 1 round they got was the double AWP kill towards a long when Space Soldiers rushed up mid. So at least there was something to maybe write home about. But apart from that, it's all very one-sided.
Yeah, one-sided is the best way to put it here. What a dangerous game for Heroic to kick off with. Again, another team that, you know, we don't expect to be top in the World of Pro League, but these are the kind of matches they should be at least getting close with, if not winning. But Space Soldiers, I think, again, like AGO, like we said last night, they're going to be another hot contender this season. They're going to be a team to watch out for. I'm confident at least one of Space Soldiers or AGO will be making finals. I'm hoping at least, because these guys definitely deserve some more LAN experience, something that Space Soldiers and AGO lack. But Heroic, I mean, this should not have been that dominant. Just look at this round. What else do you need to say? Boom. 4 kills from Paz. Easy. So 16-1 for Space Soldiers, as we said, and moving forward to Train, it's going to have to be a comeback for Heroic. They don't want to go 0-2 down in the first day. Not going to be the way to start off their their 7th season. Well, not their 7th season, but the 7th season of Pro League here.
Wow. I mean, I think I predicted a 16-7. I usually say that because if one team wins the pistol, get a few buy rounds, it's usually rather fair.
That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be dominating, but when I saw Space Soldiers starting on the T side, winning that pistol as well, it was all really going to end in favour of the Turks, and they delivered.
Yeah, definitely. Well, quick first game. I think we're going to be waiting for the second map to come up next. So before that, we're going to be going for a quick break. Join us in just a second for Train. Maybe.
Powered by Intel, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.